Have you ever looked at something, maybe a realistic robot, a wax figure, or even a CGI character, and felt off? Not scared exactly, but uneasy, unsettled, like your brain couldn't decide if it was looking at a person or something pretending to be one. That strange sensation has a name: the Uncanny Valley. The term was first coined by a Japanese roboticist, Masahiro Mori, back in the 1970s. The idea is pretty simple. As robots, animations, or other human-like creations become more lifelike, our emotional response to them generally improves, until they get too close to looking like us. At that point, our comfort level plummets into a metaphorical valley, hence the name. We go from thinking, "Oh, that's cool," to, "What is that, and why does it make me feel so weird?" But what's behind this reaction? Why does something almost human creep us out more than something clearly inhuman, like a cartoon? And why do so many people report similar feelings when encountering these uncanny figures? To answer these questions, we need to dive into psychology, evolution, and maybe even a little bit of science fiction. Let's start with a theory that might send a chill down your spine. What if our discomfort with the uncanny valley stems from something in our evolutionary past? What if at some point humans needed to fear something that looked almost like us, but wasn't us? Think about it. Early humans lived in a world where survival depended on spotting danger quickly. If something or someone acted strangely, it might be a threat. It could be a sick person, an outsider, or even a predator camouflaged in a way we can't fully comprehend today. That unease we feel when we see something almost human but not quite right might be an ancient defense mechanism kicking in. It's as if our brains are saying, "This looks like a person, but there's something wrong, stay alert." And here's where it gets even weirder. Some researchers suggest that the uncanny valley might not just be about robots or wax figures. It might also tie into déjà vu, that strange feeling of familiarity when you're certain you've never experienced something before. Both sensations, déjà vu and the uncanny valley, seem to involve a kind of mental misfire. Your brain is processing something in a way that doesn't quite add up, leaving you with an eerie, disoriented feeling. What's especially fascinating is how both phenomena seem to mess with our sense of reality. Déjà vu feels like you've been somewhere before when you haven't. The uncanny valley tricks your brain into thinking something is human when it's not. In both cases, our minds are grappling with contradictions, and that discomfort might stem from our brain's inability to resolve them. Now, let's bring this back to the modern world. The uncanny valley is everywhere today, especially as technology continues to blur the line between artificial and human. Have you ever seen one of those hyper-realistic robots, like the ones being developed in Japan? Their faces are designed to mimic human expressions almost perfectly, but their movements often give them away. It's unsettling, like watching a puppet with invisible strings. Or think about movies that use CGI to recreate human characters. Remember the CGI version of Princess Leia in Rogue One or the digital de-aging in The Irishman? While the technology is impressive, many viewers couldn't help but feel that something was slightly off. Those characters inhabit the uncanny valley, where their almost human appearance makes us hyper-aware that they're not real. But maybe the uncanny valley isn't just about fear or discomfort. Maybe it's also a mirror, one that forces us to confront what it means to be human. When something so closely resembles us but lacks the spark of life, it makes us question what separates us from machines or imitations. Is it our emotions, our ability to think abstractly, or is it something deeper, like the essence of our consciousness? Whatever the answer, the uncanny valley taps into something primal, something we don't fully understand but can't ignore. It's a reminder that as much as we like to think of ourselves as rational beings, there are parts of our brain that operate on instinct, on feelings we can't always explain. So the next time you feel that shiver of unease, whether it's from a robot, a wax figure, or even a moment of déjà vu, take a second to wonder why. Maybe it's just a harmless glitch in your brain, or maybe it's something much older, a relic of a time when recognizing what wasn't human could mean the difference between life and death. As technology advances, it's likely we'll encounter the uncanny valley more and more, from virtual reality to AI companions. And while we might never fully understand why it unsettles us, one thing's for sure: the uncanny valley is here to stay, challenging us to question what it truly means to be human.